Hello, and welcome to another thrilling episode of PROG Review. Today we are talking about John Anderson and the Band Geeks and Perpetual Change. I think that's what it's called. Yeah, it's a live album by Mr. Accrington Stanley himself and the Band Geeks. Do we need to do all the history? Many years ago, there was a band called Yes, and John Anderson was a founding member of the Yes. He was in a band called the Warriors, and he joined in by Chris Squire and the Sin, Mabel Greer's Toy Shop, and then there was many people, Revolving Door, and then the band split, and then they had a hit in the 80s, and then they split again, and then they formed another band, and then they got back together again, and then some of them left and some of them stayed, and then they kind of split again, and here we are. And then some of them died. I think that's the full history of Yes. Yeah. And in between that, there's been many albums and many live albums, and this is another live album. Because Steve Howe currently controls Yes, John Anderson has to hook up with have a progressive rock booty call with musicians who follow his ilk. We already saw him do this with, was it ARW? Arr! That was when I went through their pirate phase, I believe. That's Anderson, Rayburn and Wakeman, and that was good fun. Remember, we covered that. We covered that whenever that was, and it was good fun. It was enjoyable, and they did, their version of Yes classics, and a good time was had by all. But John Anderson can't get back. They won't have him back. They won't have him back. And so now he's hooked up with the Band Geeks, who are professional and semi-professional. I know one of them's a member of the Blue Oyster Cult, but they do covers. That's what they do. That's their bread and butter. They cover all sorts of people, all sorts of music, and they also cover Yes. And you can see their videos before Anderson got involved on YouTube, and that's fine. But John Anderson's pitched his wagon to them. They did an album called True, which we reviewed, and I was like, I know a lot of people liked it, and that's fine. That's fine. I didn't quite understand why John Anderson would try and make an album that sounded so much like Yes, when he's got his own style. I didn't get it, but, a lot of people enjoyed it, and that's fine. I didn't get it. And that's without mentioning the cover. Boy, people didn't like me slating the cover for that one. But now we have this one. This is, like I say, it's John Anderson, the Band Geeks. They got. I think is that Roger Waters do that cover? Did Roger Waters do that one? I don't know. Or was it AI? I can't tell these days. I didn't buy it. I streamed it. Don't you know? Because that's what we do these days. It's a live album, obviously, and it clocks in at it's about 2 hours, isn't it? Yeah, 2 hours 4 minutes, 10 songs, 2 hours 4 minutes. It is indeed the greatest hits, I suppose. It's the things you'd expect them to, plus a few sprinklings of other things. And what I'm going to do is, for those of you who got this far, and I've whittled on for 4 minutes already without even actually getting anywhere, because that's what you've got to do these days. I'm getting there. For those of you who are a member, I'm going to do an alternate version of this video where we actually listen to some of the album together, yeah? Because do it behind a paywall, that way get a little bit of cash, and even though the video's claimed, there'll be a little bit of cash. That's the idea. That's the logic of this. So for those of you who for years have moaned at me that I don't include the music in the review, hey, it's going to finally happen. But you have to pay for it. Oh, they're not going to like that. Oh, or they're not going to like that. But we're still doing the normal kind of review here. This is an experiment. It's probably going to fail miserably because everything I try on YouTube fails miserably because, you know, I'm shit. But that's why you're here. That's why you love me. You know, the lovable loser. So yeah, this is very much a recreation of Yes. With just John Anderson. That's it. That's all there is to it. I wasn't going to cover it because I thought it might be a bit pointless, but I don't know if I'm just getting old. You know, maybe I'm sickening for something. I don't know. Maybe I'm just losing my edge. But I kind of enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. What's become of me? Yeah, it was all right. It was all right. It's all right. I listened to it on the dog walk. It propelled me along. So yeah, it was the thing I note again. The big criticism again. These are real tears, man. These are real tears. This is the level of my acting ability. You know, am I even real? Who am I? Who is this character that I'm playing? I don't know. Sometimes I'm a bit like Peter Sellers. I don't know who I am. There is no Darren Locke. There are just many versions of him. Who is he? But the takeaway from this is. Let me just wipe away the real tears, man. Real tears. Very powerful, very thumpy, very powerful. Imagine Yes, but it was played by some really kind of big burly blokes who really hammered their instruments. I'm not talking about Yes in their heyday, because yeah, they could play a bit fast and a bit hard. But imagine people who are really kind of, you know, bit heavy set people. I imagine them. I haven't seen Band Geeks, but I imagine they're a bit heavy set. You know, a few too many pies. You know, because they don't half thump. They thump. You know, I imagine all of them have bass players' physiques. I'm being polite. It thumps. I was enthused by that because not only was it a little bit faster than the current Yes, you know, which it plods and sometimes drifts out of time. You know, because mind you, I think they might have improved on that. I don't know if I've listened to any of their live stuff. I think they still drift a bit, don't they? But this one, they're very, very fast. And again, this is no besmirch of John Anderson. He's the weakest link. And people are going to go, how, Darren? It's John Anderson. Because he sounds a little bit old and a little bit frailer in this. Because they're all like kind of younger guys. And it's all really muscular and everything's pretty tight, you know. It's a good replication of the original of the band, you know. It's a pretty good replication of Yes, and there's John Anderson in the middle, you know. So I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I think it's, you know, but there's that little kind of incongruity, you know, that little bit where you go, wow, I wish John Anderson stayed a bit younger. That's just me though. That's just me. That's just what my ears told me. You know, but he does a good gig. He does a good performance. He's still got his voice. You know, that's not the thing. It's just we all get old, and it does even come across in the, you know, in the projection and the caliber and the tone of our voices. But yeah, I think it's a good fun collection. Again, I've not watched the video of it because, you know, I didn't buy it. I listened to it on the streamers. So you got the usual things. Yours is no disgrace. Perpetual change. Close. Holocaust to the edge. Heart the sunrise. Starship Trooper. Awaken. You and I. Your move. Gates of Delirium. Gates of Delirium. Oh, I mean that was the bit where I thought, oh, wait a minute, because it did sound a bit too heavy. I know Gates of Delirium is a bit of a heavy song, but the bass in this throughout this is very, very domineering and very overpowering. Don't get me wrong, Chris Squire could loosen your bowels just by going boom. I was there, I felt it. But I do feel that in places the bass is just a little bit too rib rattling, you know, and I thought it was just a little bit too intense. It's too intense, man. But No, I mean, I think it's yeah. It's if you want to hear like a real barnstorming version of Yes, is really powerful. That's almost verging on like hard rock, heavy metal. This is it. This is it. It's like it's got a real thrust. It's got a real dynamism to it, and so yeah. I mean, that was the revelation. That was the revelation of this. I mean, I'd seen a few clips on YouTube with them, in the past. I'd seen a few bits. It's like, it's all right. It's okay if you like that kind of thing. It's okay. But I was surprised how much I enjoyed it on the dog walk. It was enjoyable, and for a moment, I forgot it wasn't Yes, and that's scary. That is scary because it was really good It's really good how they do it. Apart from that, that real. The drums, the rhythm section, the drums and the bass is really, they're really putting their foot down. They're really putting their foot down. So yeah, that's my review. Check it out. Check it out. Stream it. Give it a go. If you fancy your bones rattled, if you fancy your teeth knocking together, then this is it. And I'm not again. I don't want people saying, "Oh, you criticise." I'm not criticising John Anderson. It's just you got this very, very precise, fast, hard band under him, and he just in some not all moments. He just sounds a little bit. He needs to slow down a bit. They need to pull it back slightly. If you want it to be like proper, Yes, just pull it back just a little bit. But I think it's just they're full of enthusiasm and adrenaline. But that's it. That's and that's not really even a criticism. It's just what my ears noted, okay? Because I listened and I hear these things, right? So yeah, that was John Anderson and the band Geeks, Perpetual Change, which was recorded during their summer tour in August 2023. So it's nearly 2 years ago. At the Arcada Theatre in St Charles, Illinois, and you can get the Blu-ray, you can get the 2 CD and DVD version, and I think there's a triple vinyl as well. So, hey, it's all out there. But I'm sure Anderson will upload it all to his YouTube channel eventually, if you don't want to buy it. But you can stream it, and that's like buying it, but you don't have it gathering dust. And that's the review. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you didn't, there's not a lot I can do. I'm sure there'll be a better video along in a moment. And if it's another one of mine, I can only apologise. I thought you might get somebody better, But that's the algorithm for you. You never know what you're going to get. And like I said, I'm going to do this other review of this, where I actually have clips of the songs on the member channel. But you'll have to join for that, and that means paying money. Oh wow, boy, they're going to complain. They're going to complain about that. But I just thought it's something we could do. I thought it might be interesting for the 4 or 5 people that might be interested. I thought it might be something interesting we can do. What do you think? Do you fancy it? Do you fancy having a go at that? There you go, extra bit of content for you. Anyway, thank you for watching. There's only one more thing left to say, and that is ta-ta.